So, you want to build a brand, one that people absolutely love, right? The kind with loyal, raving fans. Well, the biggest, most important decision you're going to make, it has nothing to do with your product. Seriously. So where do you actually start? Let's dive in.
Okay, so a lot of what we're talking about today comes from Ryan Moran's incredible framework for building $1 million business. And this thing is basically a playbook, a proven one, for building brands that actually stick around. We're not talking about abstract theories here. This is real-world stuff that's helped launch a ton of successful businesses.
All right, before we get to the solution, we've got to talk about the problem. Because there is this one huge mistake that almost every single new entrepreneur makes. I mean, it's a classic. And it's the kind of mistake that can kill a brilliant idea before it even has a chance. So what is it?
I bet you've asked this yourself. It's the question, right? You see it everywhere. Startup forums, business groups. It's probably bouncing around in your own head right now. And, it feels like the most logical first step, doesn't it?
But nope, it's a trap. A total trap. When you start with what, you're basically signing yourself up for a race to the bottom. You'll be competing on price, chasing fads, and constantly looking over your shoulder. There is a way, way better question you need to be asking.
And here it is. This is the big idea that flips the whole thing on its head, straight from Ryan Moran himself. The secret is to stop thinking about the what and start obsessing over the who. Let me say that again. Don't build a product and then go looking for people to buy it. Find your people first and then build them exactly what they're dying for.
And look, this isn't just a small change in tactics. It's a complete 180-degree shift in how you think about business. It is literally the difference between building something that lasts a few months and building a brand that lasts for years. Let's break down what that really looks like.
Just look at the two columns here. On the left, the old way, the product-first way. You're just another commodity. And guess what? Someone can always be cheaper. It's a game you can't win. But on the right, the person-first business, that's all about building a relationship. When you truly serve a specific person, you build trust. And that trust, that's what gives you loyalty and the power to set your own prices. You're no longer just a commodity.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. Doesn't that limit my market? And at first glance, yeah, it might feel that way. But it's actually the most freeing thing you can do. Because if you try to be for everyone, you end up being for no one. Real brand power, the kind that lasts, comes from being super, super specific. Just focus on making something a small group of people absolutely adores. They'll do the marketing for you. They'll become your biggest fans.
Okay, so how do we get to know this person? Well, you've got to understand their worldview. And I don't mean demographics like age or location. That's surface level. I mean, what do they really believe to be true? What's the story they tell themselves? Do they believe health is the new wealth, or maybe that convenience is king? To really connect with them, you have to join the conversation that's already going on in their head.
All right, I get it. This all sounds good in theory, right? But how do you actually do it? How do you take this big idea and turn it into something real, something you can actually use to build your business? Well, it's actually a pretty simple step-by-step process.
It's just 3 steps. That's it. Step 1, define your hero. And I mean really define them. Give them a name, a backstory, picture their life. Don't just say mom's 30-40. No, get specific. Step 2, identify their pain points. Like, really dig in. What frustrates them? What keeps them awake at night? Get obsessed with their problems. And finally, step 3, map their journey. What's a day in their life really like? Where are the gaps? What do they secretly wish they had?
And to help you dig really deep, you've got to ask the right questions. Things like, what is the absolute hardest part of their day? Or what tasks just suck up all their time? My favorite is this one. What product or service do they wish existed? Seriously, your next big idea isn't hiding in some market research report. It's hiding in the answers to questions like these.
Okay, so once you truly get your customer's pain, this is where the magic happens. You can tap into the single most powerful reason why people buy, well, anything really. This is the deep psychological trigger that drives almost every purchase.
It's this. People buy things that say something about themselves. Think about it. Your product, it's just a prop in the movie that is your customer's life story. They aren't just buying a thing that solves a problem, they're buying an identity, a badge they can wear that tells the world who they are, or maybe who they want to become. Here's another way to think about it. People don't buy products. They hire them to do a job. And what's that job? To help them become a better version of themselves. Your job isn't to sell a product. It's to help your customer become more awesome, more badass. Your product is just the tool they use to get there. This is a perfect example. Both of these companies sell coffee, right? A simple commodity. But they are not competitors, not even close. Bulletproof is selling the identity of a high performer, someone who wants to biohack their day. Black Rifle Coffee, they're selling the identity of a proud, gun-loving patriot. See, it's the same product, coffee, but they're selling totally different identities to totally different groups of people. It's brilliant.
So, if you really let all of this sink in, it completely changes the definition of your job. It's not what you think it is. It's time to reframe your entire mission as an entrepreneur.
First, let's start with what your job is not. That constant, exhausting search for new customers. Trying to convince more people to buy your one thing, that is not the game. It's a losing game. This is your real job. Your job is to find more products for your customers. See the switch? Once you know exactly who you're serving and you've earned their trust, your mission becomes simple. Find more ways to help them. You become their go-to person, their trusted guide, solving one problem for them after another.
And hey, this isn't some fluffy, feel-good idea. This is just smart business. Suddenly, the money you spend to get a new customer isn't just an expense. It's an investment in a long-term relationship. Because when you do this right, a happy customer doesn't just buy from you once. They keep coming back, creating a massive lifetime value for your brand.
So, let's bring it all home with the one question that started this whole thing, the one that really truly matters. Forget about your product for a minute. Forget the pricing, the logo, all of it. Just start here. Who is the one person your brand exists to serve? Get crystal clear on that answer, and you've just laid the cornerstone for a brand people will love.